How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast, and with this video, I'll be talking about another TV or a Netflix series that came out, and kind of spur of the moment, especially when it comes down to certain shows that are coming out, especially with the next part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure coming out pretty soon. More specifically, Stone Ocean, even though for whatever reason Golden Wind has not been put on Netflix yet. I figured, since we're probably gonna have to wait till December for Stone Ocean, talk about a side story that was released as a Netflix series. Though it's 4 episodes, like some other animated stuff, but in the end, it's cool. Thus Spoken, the Kishibe Rohan series. Now, for those who don't know, or at least know anything about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Rohan Kishibe is a side character, or side protagonist. Well, kind of antagonist at first, then turning into protagonist, who is an artist, manga writer, who has a really interesting stand, which I believe was called Heaven's Door, which allowed him to see into, or see the history of different people that he uses his stand on. And it was interesting, especially with this character, it's interesting that they decided to, or at least the creators decided to make a side story for this particular character. And honestly, it's understandable because he is, to a certain degree, very interesting. So, with that, the first episode itself is called At a Confessional, and I should mention too that the story, it's an unfortunate thing, especially with this show. Originally, at least for the English dub, I should say, Rohan was voiced by Vic Mignogna originally, and I think probably due to the drama that occurred with what happened with Vic and his unfortunate mistreatment and basically being bullied off of his career, they had to replace him as the voice actor for, or at least choose somebody else for the voice actor for Rohan. So Lando McDonald, who is a voice actor who's done a couple of things, particularly a few examples: Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mobile Suit Gundam, and I've Been Killing Slimes, is voicing the, or taking on the role as Rohan. Now, for this particular episode, it discusses how, or at least goes over, I guess, him vacationing in Italy. And this is prior to, I guess, before one of our other characters was supposed to go to Italy, probably to help our Jotaro, our buddy Jotaro, with a situation where they had to find Dio's son, or Giorno, for that matter. And it starts off with him wanting to learn in Italy, or Italian, and he asks Rohan to use Heaven's Door to teach him Italian, which honestly, it's cool that to think about that his stand can actually do shit like that, where it teaches them teaches a person a certain language, or does certain things. It's cool. But anyways, with him kind of bringing up why he wants to learn or use Heaven's Door to learn Italian, he discusses this whole scenario where he was, trying to get some research for a new story or for a new manga, and he went into a church and unfortunately kind of got himself caught up in a confession when he kind of stumbled into a confessional booth. And the individual on the other side, who mistakes Rohan for, by the way, spoilers, who mistakes Rohan as the priest, tells this tale of how he was cursed, how he wronged a vagrant who died and came back to haunt the individual. And it discusses how this individual also apparently, it just obtained a vast amount of wealth, had a beautiful wife, a model of a wife, had a beautiful daughter, and to an extent, after a long period of time, became the happiest man he could ever be. But unfortunately, his past came back to bite him, and in a very horrific way. And I don't want to spoil too much further than that, but it's an interesting ending for that particular story. Now, one thing I want to talk about, especially with right off the bat with the series, is it seems like instead of using the same art style, or if anything, because it's an updated style compared to what we saw for Diamond is Unbreakable. I think that if anything, they're using the same style that they used for Golden Wind for all the characters, which honestly I really like it. But all the characters are updated with their character design. The colors used, especially when it comes down to the more the moments with the spirits, are really good. I love the colors used for everything, including backgrounds, characters, all that. The story itself is pretty fucked up, especially, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but near the very end, it gets interesting. So, above all, I like this first episode, and I'm really looking forward to what's to come. Even though, as of right now, all we're seeing is 4 episodes, and this is 1 out of the 4. So, with that, I'm going to I think for my final thoughts, I'm going to continue watching it. I love the updated style for a lot of the characters that we've seen for Diamond is Unbreakable. I love that they're using the character design for Golden Wind, or at least the characters that we saw for Golden Wind. It looks really nice, really polished. I always, especially when it came to JoJo stories, I love the use of color, as well as the pretty fucked up and bizarre things that we see. But enough about that. With that, I'm going to continue watching it, and I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one, take care, and peace.
Wow.